Right then, imagine this. Mesopotamia. Hot, isn't it? Cradle of civilization, they call it. Between two rivers, all those years ago, they wrote a humdinger of a story. The Epic of Gilgamesh. It's ancient, yes, but full of adventure, love, loss, all the good stuff. This epic poem, etched on clay tablets, tells us about Gilgamesh, king of Uruk. Gilgamesh, a bit of a superhero of his time, strong and handsome, but also a bit of a terror. Imagine a king with a touch of rock star in him. This epic poem isn't just about smashing things up, though. It's a journey, a search for something more. What's it all about then? We find old Gilgamesh wrestling with big questions. What does it mean to be human? Why are we here? And, the big one, can we escape death? Heavy stuff, eh? Stick with me, it's a wild ride. Now Gilgamesh, he wasn't exactly Mr. Popularity. Powerful, yes, but arrogant too. A bit of a handful, you might say. So the gods thought, right, let's give him a mate. Enter Enkidu, the wild man. Hairy, strong, lived with animals. He was basically Bear Grylls, but from 4,000 years ago. Their first meeting? A brawl, naturally. But like all good brawls, it ended in a pint down the pub and a firm handshake. Well, maybe not a pint, but you get the idea. They became best mates, thick as thieves. Enkidu, he softened Gilgamesh's rough edges. And Gilgamesh, he showed Enkidu the ways of the world. They had each other's backs, these two. They went off on adventures together, fought monsters, the lot. They were like the Starsky and Hutch of ancient Mesopotamia. But their adventures, they weren't just about showing off. They were about testing themselves, pushing their limits. And through it all, their friendship deepened. Adventure time. Gilgamesh and Enkidu, they weren't exactly sitting around playing backgammon. Their first mission? Sort out this big baddie, Humbaba, lived in the cedar forest, this Humbaba, and he wasn't keen on visitors. Imagine a giant with a face that could curdle milk and a voice like an earthquake. Not pleasant. But did our heroes back down? Did they heck? They went in, swords swinging, and gave Humbaba what for. Victory was theirs. But victory often comes at a price, doesn't it?
Gilgamesh, you have caught my eye.
Their exploits, they didn't go unnoticed. Ishtar, the goddess of love, she fancied a bit of Gilgamesh.
Sorry, Ishtar, I'm not interested.
But Gilgamesh, he wasn't having any of it. Bad move, that. Ishtar, she was a bit sensitive, shall we say. In a fit of rage, she unleashed the Bull of Heaven. Another epic battle, dust flying everywhere. You couldn't see your hand in front of your face. Section 4. The Loss of a Friend. Mortality's Harsh Lesson. Now, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but things take a bit of a turn here. Remember that Bull of Heaven they defeated? Well, the gods, they weren't best pleased. Someone had to pay the price, and that someone was Enkidu.
He fell ill, a swift, cruel illness.
Gilgamesh, he was devastated. He'd never felt loss like it. He wept for his friend, refused to believe he was gone. He even tried to find a way to bring him back. This is where the story really gets to you. It reminds us that even the strongest, bravest people, they feel grief just like the rest of us. The death of Enkidu, it shook Gilgamesh to his core. He realized that he too was mortal, that one day he too would die. And that scared him. He'd faced down monsters and gods, but death, that was a different beast altogether. Section 5. The Quest for Everlasting Life. A Journey's End. Wisdom's Dawn. The fear of death gnawed at Gilgamesh.
He decided he wouldn't go the same way as Enkidu. He would find a way to cheat death. And so, he set off on a new quest. This time, it wasn't about slaying monsters. It was about finding the secret to immortality.
He met Utnapishtim, who had survived a great flood and gained eternal life.
But Utnapishtim told Gilgamesh a harsh truth. Immortality wasn't all it was cracked up to be.
In the end, Gilgamesh learned he couldn't escape death. He returned to Uruk, a wiser, humbler king. True immortality lies in the legacy we leave behind. Echoes of Gilgamesh in the modern world. The Epic of Gilgamesh, a story told for thousands of years, about friendship, loss, and the search for meaning. It reminds us we're all human, facing the same hopes and fears. True strength lies in facing mortality with courage. Remember old Gilgamesh, even a king can be afraid. There's beauty and meaning in life. A message as relevant today as 4,000 years ago.